All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ivylaw office. Our Q&A weekly with myself, Wilberforce Agyekum, and attorney Jumoke Oladapo. How you doing, Jumoke?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. All right. So today we're going to talk about immigration. We're talking about asylum today. So we're going to give you brief, general information about asylum. And if you would like more specific information and details, please feel free to give us a call at Ivylaw office. We can answer your questions after. Okay. You can also post questions on our YouTube page, and we will be able to get back to you on that as well. Okay. All right. So asylum. I'm going to start it off. What is asylum and who may apply for asylum? Okay. First, if you have suffered persecution or fear that you will suffer persecution due to, and pay attention, this is important. These categories are just as this, you can't make up your own. So first, race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion. So if you've been persecuted or you fear being persecuted because you fit in one of those, you are eligible to apply or to petition for asylum. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean you'll be granted, but you can at least, if you fit one of those and you fear persecution or you've been persecuted, you may apply. Okay. Anything you want to add to that? You okay?
Yeah, I think that's important because a lot of people think their personal affairs or their family affairs and make them eligible to apply for asylum but that's not really the case. You have to meet these 5 prongs to be eligible, and that means you fear persecution in your home country. And there are a lot of other factors that go into it. So it's better to speak with an attorney because you could be persecuted by one person, but you could run to another part of the country. You have somewhere to go that the persecutor will not locate you. Then the judge will not grant you asylum. That's just one out of many. So there are a lot of intricate factors that go into that, but those are the basic reasons which makes it eligible.
All right. And say that again: race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion. Keep that in mind when you think you can apply for for asylum in the USA.
Yeah. The particular social group membership, it could be broad, and most of them are statutorily like case law driven. So your story may fit into you being a member of a particular social group. Speak with an attorney.
Speak with an attorney. That's always your best option.
Yeah.
All right. Second, will I receive permission to work after filing for asylum?
When you file for asylum, right now, the rule, if you file after August 2020, I believe the rule says that you have to wait for 1 year, that's 365 days before you can be eligible to file for work authorization. It used to be a 6 months waiting period, but now it's changed. You have to wait for 1 year after you've put in your application for asylum, then file for work authorization.
Okay. Now, under certain limited circumstances, you can file it, but it's not guaranteed. You may be eligible to receive employment authorization based on pending asylum application under limited circumstances. For example, there's been no final decision made on your application, or you enter the United States lawfully on or after August 25th, 2020. Those are limited, and there's some more listed on the USCI's website, or an attorney can explain that to you some more. But generally, Attorney Jumoke is right. There's a wait before you can apply, unless you fit in very small category of applicants. Is that right, Jumoke?
Exactly.
Okay. And bringing your family Is an asylee able to bring their family to the United States?
Yes, a lot of people who come in on as asylees probably just come alone because the flee in the event, in the event of an emergency, usually not planned for. So when they come into the United States, they come in alone. After you file for asylum and you granted the asylee to be an asylee, if you become an asylee, then you can apply for your family, basically your immediate relative, your spouse or your children, unmarried under 21. You can file for them to come to the United States on a derivative status as your derivative, and an application is put in for that, for them to come.
Good. Okay, so your family can come, but it's a process. You need to make sure you do it right. Okay?
Yeah. I believe also that there's a timeline within which you have to file for them, and that's within 2 years of becoming an asylee, you have to file for your derivatives to come in.
Okay, so if you're listening, you got to take notes. Next, can I file for permanent residence, which is the green card, as an asylee? Well, let me take a swing at that one. You may apply for a green card 1 year after being granted asylum. And to apply for a green card, you have to file for application to register permanent resident or to adjust status. You must submit a separate application packet for yourself and, if applicable, for each family member who receives derivative asylum based on your case. So not only do you have to file for yourself, but you have to file a separate adjustment of status application for each member of your family who are also in your asylum petition. Okay, Jumoke, is there anything else you want to add to that?
Before we go on, I'm sorry, let me add to that.
Mm-hmm.
I've come across a lot of situations where asylees, they go ahead, become green card holders, and they don't file for their immediate derivatives. The children who are with them in the United States, they don't file for them to become green card holders about the same time. And maybe it's for financial reasons or whatever, I don't know. But once those children become over the age of 21, they somehow fall off from under you, from being an asylee. So they'll continue on an asylee status. Meanwhile, you've graduated to become a green card holder or to become a citizen. This creates a difficult situation for your children. So it's better that, follow what Attorney Will just said. When you're applying for green card, apply for your young children and spouse. When you're filing for citizenship, pull your children on as well, so that they don't get stuck. If you don't do this, your derivative may get stuck being an asylee for a long time, except there are other options to adjust their status.
Thank you very much. And what happens if a person is granted an asylum?
So when a person is granted an asylum, the application is granted, then that means the U.S. government believed that there was persecution. You had a well-founded fear of persecution, and you're not able to return to your country because of fear of future persecution and all that stuff. When the judge grants your application, or USCIS grants your application, you'll be given some form of an I-94 card, arrival card, and then that card can be used for the purpose of employment. You can stamp, get a travel document as well for the purpose of travel. You can live in and work in the United States, continue to live and work in the United States on that status, but you cannot go to your country of persecution while you're an asylee. Also, your qualifying relative will become, and you will get those status with you as well. If you're granted asylum, your relative, children under 21 and spouse or your derivatives will be granted asylum as well.
Excellent. And also keep in mind, you'll be able to apply for an employment authorization, as Jumoke just mentioned. Additionally, you can you can apply for your Social Security card. You can apply for the green card and other immigration benefits for spouse and unmarried children under 21. So keep that in mind as well. Now,
and there are also some social benefits that asylees are eligible for. So if you need to apply for things like food stamp or Medicaid or things like that, there's some qualifying benefits that asylees can apply for.
Excellent. Thank you. And how long does a grant of asylum last?
Oh, when you're when you're granted asylum, there is no time limit on it. You can be an asylee for as long as you want to. So basically like forever, but you can get yourself out of it and adjust to another status, like becoming a green card holder, and from there becoming a citizen.
And so I'm just going to add a quick note. Potential means of terminating your asylum. One of them is that you have no longer a founded fear of persecution.
Exactly.
And that could get you sent back home, right?
That's true.
Okay, so generally you have to be careful when you come and you fear persecution. That is the basis, and you're here. For some reason, you're able to go home and you no longer fear persecution. That may be a way for you to.
Oh yeah, that can be terminated. Basically, you're trying to terminate your asylum status if you don't fear persecution from their own country anymore, or maybe you applied for asylum through fraudulent information in your court. Then that's an issue. You won't, that could be revoked. Or maybe you went back to I think we said that, going back to your country persecution, and also let's say there's some certain crimes and offenses that may not make you eligible for asylum.
Oh, another country.
Or if you seek asylum in another country, then you don't need it in the United States. Am I right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's why they ask, one of the questions in the asylum application is, did you more like stop by another country before seeking asylum in the United States? They want to know whether you sought asylum in another country or whether you were granted asylum in another country before coming to the United States. So in most cases, if you want to seek asylum in the United States, make sure it's a straight flight or a straight journey to the United States. Don't stop in any other country. Make your case easy. Otherwise, you'll be questioned some more. Why did you seek asylum in this country you stopped by before getting to the United States?
That's right. So make it a straight shot.
Exactly.
Or else you might have to have an option to go back to one of those other countries.
Yeah.
So, but keep that in mind. Now, what if the asylum petition is denied? What happens then?
So there are two ways to seek asylum. First, with the USCIS, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, and that's affirmative asylum application. When USCIS decides not to grant you asylum, they refer you to the immigration court. So they don't necessarily say it's a denial notice. Most of the time, they just refer you to removal proceedings to argue your case again before the immigration judge. Then the immigration judge will listen to your asylum application again and see if you're eligible or if you meet the criteria. And I believe there are very few cases where they will ask you for more information or give you a notice of intention to deny. That's the USCIS. And if they do so, you have to respond within a timeline given by them, for them to give full consideration to your case. If a judge denies, another place you file an asylum application, which is the defensive, is in the court with the immigration judge. And if you file an asylum application with the immigration judge, the court judge will hear your matter and make a determination whether you're granted asylum or not. And if you're not granted asylum, there may be some other reliefs that maybe you'll qualify for, like withholding of removal or CAT, Convention Against Torture. And if asylum is denied, maybe they'll grant you withholding, or if you qualify for that, or maybe they'll let you stay on CAT if you qualify on that. And if not, then you will be told to leave the United States, removed within a certain number of days, and then you'll have to go back to your country if you do not appeal it. So there's a possibility for you to appeal the decision of the IJ, immigration judge. You appeal, and if your appeal is granted, good for you. If it's not, you can appeal again to the federal court. And then if the federal court denies, then you don't have any choice.
What would you say to an asylee about how they need to behave in the country while their case is pending?
While their case is pending, don't get yourself engaged in criminal offenses or anything that can jeopardize your asylum application. That's very important because the judge is looking for a whole lot of things. Are you going to be a contributory member of the society, or are you going to be of a threat to the society? Those are part of the things judge is looking at. If we grant you asylum, what benefit are you going to be? Are you going to be committing criminal offenses? So it's important that you have a good behavior. It's important that you continue to renew your work authorization so that you'll have, when you're eligible for that, so that you'll continue to be able to leave, to be able to fend for yourself and have good work. And what else? Don't miss your court date. That's very important. And don't miss your calling appointment. So if you're told to check in with ICE from time to time, make sure you keep those dates, make sure you keep those appointments. And if you're told to show up in the immigration court, you have a hearing, make sure you appear. If you don't show up for a hearing, then the judge can issue deportation in absentia against you. That means you're deported even without you knowing, and then you're at risk of being stopped and taken by ICE, and your removal may be expedited.
Oh, wow. So you need to be careful while you're here. It's a serious process, and if you are seeking humanitarian relief, you can't be in the United States committing crimes. That could be problematic for you. Okay. So on that note, Attorney Jumoke, what could Ivylaw office do to assist asylees if they needed help from you?
Those who want to apply for asylum, or the people that already applied.
Those who want to apply, and those who have applied that still might need some help. How would you help anybody?
Okay, for those who believe they may be eligible to file for asylum, it's important that you try not to do this yourself. It's also important that you don't use the services of notarios or consultants that will just fill in the form and send it in without you knowing the content of your application. So use the services of an immigration attorney that knows about asylum and can assist you effectively. When you speak with an attorney will give you all the needed representation to make sure that your matter will have some strong basis for approval if there is one. Okay, and if you're not eligible for asylum, your attorney will let you know. Okay, we can help you at Ivylaw Law Office to apply for asylum in the United States. We do this for a lot of our clients, and we have success stories out of them. So feel free to call our office, Ivylaw Law Office. Our website is 30. Our phone number is 301-276-0887. And of course, our website is ivylawoffice.com. You can send us an email through, you can contact us as well through our website. If you're already an asylee and you need assistance of an attorney, please feel free to contact us. We can guide you on what next step you need to take, and we can help you resolve any issues that you may be going through that you need assistance with. I've seen a few people who became asylees who just continued being an asylee for 10 and 20 years. There is no reason for that. When you can apply to become a green card holder 1 year after you're an asylee. So knowledge is power. Make sure you speak with an immigration attorney that can help you through these different stages of immigration status in the United States. And we'll be glad to help you. Please feel free to contact us.
That's right. If you can find us online, this is a top-rated 5-star law firm, which is rare for an immigration law firm. So we do the work, and we really care about our clients, and we do the best to make sure you get the best outcome for your case. I am one of those attorneys, and I work with Jumoke, and we make sure your case is done the right way. So please, if you need help, we're here to help you. We represent clients throughout the United States, so don't hesitate to contact us, okay? All right, so with this one, this will be up on our YouTube page, channel, and so please ask questions in the comment section, and we will check it out and answer your questions there too, okay? Thank you very much for stopping by and checking us out, and we will see you again next week, okay? All right, bye, Jumoke.
Big thanks for watching. Have a good day.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.